They said he was a hero. But when the truth came out, the whole town realized the man they trusted had been living a lie for 15 years. And when those black SUVs rolled up one quiet morning, no one knew if they were there to thank him or to take him away. Ethan Cole had lived in Ridgeway all his life, a quiet little town surrounded by pine trees and red clay roads, the kind of place where nothing ever really changed. He was the man everyone knew they could count on. Steady hands, honest work, and a calm voice that could fix more than just broken clocks. For 15 years, Ethan had been the town's clockmaker. Every tick and chime in Ridgeway, the courthouse clock, the school bell, even the church tower ran because of him. But behind that gentle routine, Ethan carried a secret. A single lie he told one night long ago that saved a life but buried the truth. It was late one autumn evening. The rain hadn't stopped for hours, and the Cole's Clockwork sign flickered weakly in the storm. Ethan was closing up when the door opened and a woman stepped inside. Soaked to the bone, clutching something wrapped in an old towel, her voice trembled. "Please, it's not working. It belonged to my father." Ethan carefully unwrapped it, a silver pocket watch, engraved with the words, "Property of J.R. Langford." His breath caught. That name wasn't just familiar. It was part of the lie he'd been living with for 15 years. He forced his voice steady. "Where did you get this?" The woman hesitated. "My father left it behind years ago. Said a man named Ethan Cole could fix it." He looked at her closely, young, weary eyes, but kind. "I'll take a look," he said. "Come back tomorrow." When she left, Ethan locked the door, sat at his workbench, and stared at the watch. The truth hit like lightning. He had already repaired this watch before, the night John Langford disappeared. The same night Ethan told the sheriff that Langford's car had gone off the bridge and sunk into the river. They never found the body, but they believed his story. The lie had worked. The town called Langford a hero who died trying to stop a robbery. Ethan got a quiet thank you from the sheriff for helping. Closed the case, and life went on, until now. The next morning, the woman returned. She introduced herself as Clara Langford, John Langford's daughter. She smiled faintly. "Any luck?" Ethan nodded. "It's working now, but why bring it here?" Clara sighed. "Because my father's missing again. I got this in the mail last week. No note, just the watch. The postmark was from Ridgeway." Ethan's hands went cold. "You think he's here?" "I don't know," she said. "But I think someone wanted me to find you." That afternoon, the whispers began. The sheriff dropped by asking if Ethan still remembered that old Langford case. People noticed Clara's car parked outside the shop. Old gossip stirred like dust in sunlight. By nightfall, Ethan found an envelope slipped under his door. Inside was a single line. "You kept my secret. Now keep hers." And below it, a photograph of Clara taken the night before. Someone was watching. He turned off the lights and sat in the darkness. The only sound was the ticking of dozens of clocks, hundreds of tiny heartbeats, marking time he could no longer escape. At dawn, Ridgeway woke to the sound of engines. 7 black SUVs rolled quietly down Main Street, stopping in front of Ethan's shop. The air was thick with confusion. Neighbors peeked from curtains. Some whispered, "He's being arrested." Others said, "He found treasure." Ethan stepped outside, heart pounding. The SUV's doors opened in unison. Men in dark suits stepped out, calm, precise, not local. A tall man with gray hair approached. "Mr. Cole?" he asked. "I'm Agent Derek Hale. We need to talk about John Langford." Ethan swallowed. "He's dead." The agent's expression didn't change. "Then you won't mind explaining why this watch," he held up the silver piece, "was mailed last week from your town, with your fingerprints on it." Inside the shop, Ethan told them everything. How Langford showed up years ago. Blood on his shirt, terrified. How he begged for help. How Ethan lied to the police to protect him. The room was silent except for the ticking clocks. When Ethan finished, Agent Hale nodded slowly. Langford wasn't running from the law. He was running from people he'd exposed, a criminal network tied to military contracts. "You didn't just hide him, Mr. Cole. You saved his life." Ethan blinked. "Then why send the watch now?" "Because," Hale said, "the people Langford exposed are back, and they know who helped him. The front door opened and Clara walked in, escorted by 2 more agents. Her eyes were red but steady. "He mailed it to you?" she said quietly. "Because he trusted you. He knew you'd tell the truth when it mattered most." The realization hit Ethan hard. The lie he told 15 years ago to protect a man had circled back, demanding a truth to protect everyone else. That evening, Ethan stood before the town he loved. The same people who once praised him for his honesty. He confessed everything, how he lied, why he did it, and what it had cost him. The room went silent. Then Sheriff Mason stepped forward, voice breaking. "You saved a man's life, Ethan. Maybe more than one. You did wrong, sure, but you did it for the right reason." The crowd stayed quiet for a long time. Then someone started to clap. Then another. Until the whole room echoed with the sound of forgiveness. Months later, Ridgeway was quiet again. The criminal ring had been dismantled. John Langford was alive, living under protection. Clara visited Ethan often, sometimes to thank him, sometimes just to sit in the ticking piece of his workshop. The silver watch sat on his counter, running perfectly, a soft reminder of time lost and time redeemed. Beneath it, a small handwritten note read, "Some lies protect the living, but truth sets them free." And every morning when Ethan wound that watch, he smiled, because after 15 long years, time had finally forgiven him.